Philadelphia News, team of my heart. You remember the promise, the potential, the hope for a Philadelphia 76ers star who never quite lived up to the hype. Injuries and setbacks turned dreams into frustration, leaving you wondering what could have been. Now, this former Sixer is at a crossroads, and the NBA is buzzing with rumors of his next move. Could Oklahoma City be his chance for redemption? Stay with me for the latest Sixers news and to uncover the full story. Subscribe so you never miss a beat on this journey. You remember the promise, the potential, the excitement. A fresh face, a new hope, meant to elevate the Philadelphia 76ers to heights not seen in years. Yet, as the clock ticked and the seasons wore on, that promise dimmed, shadowed by a mysterious ailment and mounting frustration. Now, this former Sixer, who once wore the blue and white with such high expectations, finds himself in a state of uncertainty. The court that once buzzed with the sound of his name now grows quiet, and the spotlight shifts to new stars. But that doesn't mean the story's over, not by a long shot. The basketball world is buzzing again, and not just because of the usual Sixers news. There's talk of a move, a shift that could reignite a career that's never quite burned as brightly as it should have. The whispers grow louder, hinting at a possible landing in Oklahoma City, where opportunity may just lie in wait. A team that knows how to make the most of its assets, to uncover hidden gems and breathe life into what others have discarded. For this former Sixer, a new chapter could begin. Oklahoma City isn't just any team, it's a team known for its strategic brilliance, for making smart moves that pay off in spades. Imagine a place where the lane is clear, where the paint opens up like a red carpet, just waiting for those drives, those pull-ups, that playmaking ability to finally shine. It's a system that could be the perfect fit, a place where minutes are earned, not given, where you fight for every second on the court, but when you do, you make it count. This is a player who, despite the challenges, despite the setbacks, has shown glimpses of what could have been. It's not about the past anymore, it's about what comes next. And with the Thunder, there's a chance for redemption, for a return to form, or perhaps even something more, a chance to finally fulfill the potential that once had an entire city on the edge of its seat. But it's not just about the numbers, the stats, or the minutes played. It's about what this move could mean for the player, for the league, and maybe even for the Sixers, who once pinned their hopes on him. You know that feeling, the mix of hope and skepticism, the desire to see someone succeed even after they've left your team, maybe because there's a part of you that still believes in the potential that once was. The world of Sixers news is full of twists and turns, and this could be one of those moments that makes you sit up and pay attention. It's a reminder that the NBA is as much about redemption as it is about victory, about finding the right fit as much as it is about raw talent. So, what does the future hold for this former Sixer? Will he find a new home where he can finally thrive, or is this just another chapter in a story that never quite got off the ground? One thing's for sure, wherever he lands, the impact will be felt, and you'll be there, watching, waiting, and wondering what could have been. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find yourself rooting for him even if he's wearing a different jersey. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the team, it's about the game, the players, and the stories that make you love Sixers news even more. You think back to those early days, when hope was high and the future seemed bright. A new name was added to the roster, one that carried the weight of expectation like few others before him. The pick that was supposed to change everything, to push the Sixers over the edge and into the conversation for a championship. But as you watched, season after season, it became clear that things weren't going according to plan. The injuries, the setbacks, the moments of brilliance overshadowed by longer stretches of absence, it was all too much. The frustration was palpable, wasn't it? You could feel it every time he stepped on the court, every time he missed a shot, every time he sat on the bench while others took his place. It was a journey that started with so much promise but became a story of unfulfilled potential. But now, as the dust settles on those early years, there's a new chapter beginning, one that might just offer a shot at redemption. It's not about rewriting the past, but about seizing the future. You see, this isn't just another player looking for a team, it's a player searching for a second chance, for the right fit, where his skills can finally flourish. Oklahoma City, just the mention of it sparks curiosity. This is a franchise that's known for taking what others have overlooked and turning it into something valuable. You've seen it before, players who seemed lost suddenly finding their game, thriving in a system that understands them. The thought of this former Sixer landing there stirs something inside you, doesn't it? The idea that maybe, just maybe, he could find what he's been searching for all these years. Imagine it, the open lanes, the freedom to maneuver, to use his speed and playmaking ability in ways that he couldn't before. The Thunder's roster is young, hungry, full of potential, just like he was when he first entered the league. It's a place where he could be more than just a name on a roster, more than just a former top pick who didn't quite pan out. It's a place where he could become a key piece in a team that's on the rise. You think about how this could play out. The practices, the games, the moments where he flashes the brilliance that made him a top pick in the first place. And you wonder, could this be it? Could this be the moment where everything clicks, where he finally becomes the player you always hoped he would be? And what would it mean for the Sixers? Watching from afar as a player who once wore your colors finds success elsewhere, it's a bittersweet feeling, isn't it? But there's also a sense of pride, of knowing that he was once part of your team, that his journey, no matter where it leads, started with the Sixers. It's a reminder of how the game is full of twists and turns, how a player's path is never straightforward, how redemption is always possible. As you follow this story, keep your eyes on the headlines, on the Sixers news that keeps you connected to the team you love. Because this journey is far from over, and you know that whatever happens next, it's going to be something worth watching. You've followed this journey from the start, haven't you? You've seen the highs and the lows, the moments of hope followed by those of doubt. Now, as the possibility of a new chapter unfolds, you can't help but feel invested in where this story goes next. There's a sense of unfinished business, of potential that's yet to be fully realized. And that's what keeps you glued to the Sixers news, waiting for the next development. You remember those early games, the excitement, the anticipation. It was supposed to be the beginning of something special. But as the seasons wore on, the reality set in: injuries, missed opportunities, and the gradual realization that maybe things weren't going to work out the way you had hoped. It was a tough pill to swallow, wasn't it? Watching a player with so much promise struggle to find his place. But here's the thing, every story has its twists and turns, and sometimes, it's in the most unexpected places that a player finds his true potential. You wonder, could this be that moment? Could this be where everything changes, where the player you once cheered for finally finds the success that's eluded him for so long? And now, as you think about what could happen next, ask yourself, did you know all along who I was talking about? Were you able to piece together the clues, to remember the journey that's led to this point? Because if you did, then you know just how much is riding on this next move. That's right, it's Markelle Fultz. The name brings back a flood of memories, doesn't it? The first overall pick, the hope of a franchise, the player who was supposed to help lead the Sixers to greatness. But his time in Philadelphia didn't go as planned, did it? Injuries, challenges, and ultimately, a trade that sent him to Orlando. But now, as free agency looms, the possibility of a fresh start is more real than ever. So, what do you think? Is this the moment where Fultz turns it all around? Will he find success with the Thunder, or will his story take yet another unexpected turn? It's questions like these that keep you coming back, that keep you engaged with every bit of Sixers news that comes your way. If you're just as curious as I am to see where this goes, make sure you stay connected. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and don't miss a single update. Because this story is far from over, and you won't want to miss what happens next.